Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to tonight's stream. Just to get out of the way, scruffy-looking Nerf herder will not be joining us. He's stuck with personal engagements at the moment, so I'm gonna be doing this solo once again. I have quite the stream planned for tonight. I've got 3 videos lined up for us to all take a look at. But first, let us greet everybody in the chat. And I'm trying to adjust what would be a good schedule for me to stream. So I'm doing the stream 15 minutes earlier than I normally do at a decent 11 o'clock. So just kind of testing the waters, fine tuning things, all that. Darth Ghostface, heyo. Hey, Darth Ghostface, welcome to the chat. Solar Voludun, greetings. Okay, hello, everybody. Okay, more people will most likely be popping in the chat. For the first time in a long time, I actually started advertising my streams on my community posts again and my Twitter. Go follow me there if you want to see me occasionally post there, because I barely use Twitter to post things. But anyway, let us get the most boring video out of the way first, and then we can get to the fun stuff, shall we? Welcome back to the channel. Star Wars Meg, everybody. Star Wars Meg with new Maul Shadow Lord teaser and Ahsoka Season 2. Oh boy, we got a 2-for-1 here. 2-for-1. So, let us get into it. Is this intro recent? Because I haven't seen this in the last few videos that she's made. Interesting. Very interesting.
Hello, my dear friends, and welcome back to another super exciting Star Wars video. San Diego Comic-Con is just kicking off, and we have an exclusive new look at Ahsoka Season 2 and Maul Shadow Lord. This is going to be a very exciting video, and keep in mind, my dear friends...
This is going to be an exciting video, everybody. Do you think for once Meg will shut off the AI and actually freaking emote? Do you think that she will actually emote? Because I have absolutely no idea whether or not she is going to actually show some damn emotion this time, or she's going to, again, put us all to sleep. I mean, it's up in the air whether or not that's going to happen. Okay. Let's continue. Shut up, Meg. Absolutely.
At the end of the weekend on Sunday, George Lucas is going to be there. I'm going to be covering all of the major reveals from this weekend, so make sure to subscribe if you've not done so. But no more jibber jabber, we have a lot to discuss, so let's dive straight in. So all of today's reveals come from the Lucasfilm booth. Essentially in San Diego, they set up an impressive showcase, a main floor gallery.
Impressive showcase, and it shows TCW, Rebels, and Resistance. I would say that's not very impressive at all. Jorge Lucas, welcome to the chat. Star Wars Meg and the word exciting do not go together. Facts.
Which highlights all of the different shows, with a primary focus, just like at Celebration in Japan, on the 20th anniversary of Lucasfilm Animation. So on full display you have model heads, a few bits of concept art, some replica ships, and some stills promoting the recent shows.
The same type of shows that suck ass. Which, by the way, how much did they even showcase the Clone Wars micro series here? Because the micro series should be here, and Ewoks and droids. We ain't subbing to your shitty channel, Meg. No, we are not. We are not subbing to a shitty channel. A Disney Star Wars channel, too.
Star Wars Rebels, Resistance, The Bad Batch, and all 3 Tales of anthologies. But on the wall on the far right-hand side, they are showcasing the upcoming Maul series. And this, my dear friends, is where we have a brand new still of Maul himself, wielding his double-bladed lightsaber.
Whoop-de freaking dude. This doesn't look like it's worth really covering at all. Like, maybe a small community post, but really not an 8-minute video, which is why she's got to pad it out with more Ahsoka Season 2 nonsense. She seems to be glazing that show hard. That 20th Century Guy. Hey, Brandon. Welcome to the stream. Jorge Lucas. They like to pretend that the 2003 micro series doesn't exist. Well, that is a freaking shame because that is a masterpiece. Like, even without it being a Star Wars product, it is a masterpiece. Gorgeous to look at.
Now, I don't know if you guys remember this, but a few weeks ago I broke down some of the footage from Star Wars Celebration, and it turns out this show is rather lightsaber duel heavy, which is always really fun, especially for animation. This show is set a year after the Clone Wars and maintains a very similar aesthetic. And there are quite...
Oh, you know, just like all of the other shows that Filoni has worked on that have the same stupid, overused aesthetic. Like, at this point, I am getting sick of seeing this art style. As crappy as Rebels looks, as crappy as Rebels looks, it actually tried to have a bit of a different art style. Good freaking Lord. Dave Filoni's The Clone Wars is dog water. Absolutely, Darth Ghostface.
A few returning characters. For example, the Inquisitor Marok, Maul DeLorean...
Oh, congratulations. Darth Fart Gas is going to be here, folks. Darth Fart Gas. The guy that everybody thought was going to be Starkiller, but then it just was a giant, it was just a big fart cloud in a suit. Whoop-de freaking do.
And Rook cast, who many fans are still convinced is the Armorer, but there is one very unique character who fans are pretty obsessed about. A Force-sensitive...
No. God, no. No. I swear, if this is who I think it's going to be, I am going to lose my damn mind. Oh, God.
Twi'lek apprentice, who many have assumed is Darth Talon. Well, I'm sorry to burst your bubble, my dear friends, because today, rumors are circulating on social media, and I saw this on X, that it isn't. It's a new character altogether. She might be based on the character from the expansion.
So they're going to steal the concept of Darth Talon and just give it to a shitty new character. Got it. But on top of that, don't say, I'm sorry to burst your bubble when it's just a rumor. Meg, just don't do that. That is already set up for you to look like a freaking idiot the second it comes out that this is going to be Darth Talon. That's assuming it is Darth Talon. I am going to say it right now, do not use that kind of language. Because, dear Lord, I should know that you need to be careful when it comes to rumors. As someone who followed the Sonic Frontiers rumor mill like an idiot, I'm going to guarantee, I guarantee you don't want to be overhyped.
Universe, but they're not the same person. The rumor could be wrong. I put my hands up and say I don't know personally if it is or it isn't, but going off of Lucasfilm's track record, I'm leaning towards this being a new character, and her name is apparently Taryn. Take this with a pinch of salt.
Oh, Taryn, Talon, they sound freaking similar. They sound similar. Dear Lord, Filoni just might as well steal Talon all together. The 2D animation style from Tartakovsky's Clone Wars blows Filoni's shitty 3D animation style out of the water. Facts. Darth Ghostface spitting facts in the chat, everybody.
And I did caution you guys, Lucasfilm rarely does one-for-one adaptations from Legends. Even the likes of Grand...
Still calling it Wedgens, she is. Still calling it Wedgens. And of course they're not doing one-to-one adaptations. Because they can't do one-to-one adaptations. Because they hate real Star Wars. This is something that everybody with a brain knows by now. No sane and rational person would believe any Star Wars rumor after the bullshit that grifters like Mike Zero, Doomcock, and Cameron Pasha have pushed for years. There is no Legends. There only the expanded universe. Actually, Cameron Pasha made a comeback with the Gina Carano bit. I rewatched 2003 Clone Wars recently because I missed some episodes when it aired back in the day. It really is a masterpiece. Yes, it is. I actually own it on DVD, both volumes. Yeah, I see it more as volumes than individual episodes because that's how I watched it as a kid.
Admiral Thrawn, Pelion, and Rook were all different for canon. So
because Dave Filoni is a hack.
Even when expanded universe characters do make it, their stories are changed. Sometimes their entire characterization. I suppose Taryn...
Yeah, they're butchered beyond belief because Thrawn was made into a complete and total idiot.
Or whatever her name ends up being, could still become Darth Talon, and that's just her original name. And she's going to be Maul's temporary apprentice. I wonder if temporary means that she's going to die off, that he kills her in the end, because she doesn't appear to be part of Maul's story in Star Wars Rebels further down the line. And
I guarantee you she's probably going to survive because strong female woman. Am I right, guys? And Rook died. Khalil Cruz Ramirez, welcome to the stream. As I'm reading Dark Apprentice, I'm reached a chapter where Leia gets to calamari, and I remembered 03 Clone Wars. Awesome. Solar Volodun. Also, I guarantee you they're not going to put Talon in that metal bikini she had in the freaking Legacy comics because of course not. It's too sexy for Star Wars. Disney Star Wars, that is. Gina Carano settling with Disney out of court was a mistake. Now we will never see Disney go to Discovery and have their dirty laundry exposed. Yeah, and I believe Disney... Like, Gina may or may not end up going back to Disney Star Wars to do more Cara Dune crap. So, it looks like she's going to become just one of the many actors we'll go after. Maybe. Meg hates Star Wars. Anyone who honestly shills or likes any aspect of Disney Star Wars is a shill. Disney will 100% defeminize Darth Talon. They already started doing that because when she got introduced to that crappy Galaxy of Heroes app, they put a pair of pants on her. So already they started defeminizing her.
Should have learnt our lesson by now to not expect exact characters that we know from different Star Wars media. How many times did we see trailers for The Mandalorian or Book of Boba Fett and expected new characters to be ones we already know? Do you guys...
I don't know. Maybe because if you announce a character is going to be in a property, you would expect said character to be adapted perfectly. You know, do the best job you can to adapt them. If they adapted like when they brought Spider-Man into the MCU, everyone expected him to be a one-to-one adaptation with the character we all know and love. We didn't get that. Now, did we? If Gina goes back to working with Disney, that would mean she's a sellout. I would lose all my respect for her. Yeah, I agree.
You guys remember when people thought Drash was going to be a Dark Jedi? We had so many elaborate theories of how she might play into Boba's story, and then
was that even a thing? Because I don't remember anyone covering that back when this crappy show was coming out.
She ended up being part of the mod gang. Some fans theorize she might even be Boba's daughter. Oh boy, how we were wrong. So like I say, with only a couple of exceptions, Lucasfilm doesn't really do any deep dives into Star Wars Legends. Under Disney, things are rather...
No, the only time they ever dip into Legends is the expanded universe is when they want to rip something off. When they're desperate or creatively bankrupt.
Surface level. And even when we do get a deep cut, like the mention of Quinlan Vos or Corran Horn in the Kenobi show, it's just lip service, just jangling keys. But in a way...
Okay, so why the hell are you still sticking with Disney Star Wars then, Meg? If you know that it's key jingling and all that, why are you still a fan of this crap?
Maybe it's best that this character is new. If you're a fan of Darth Talon, you might find it best that she remains in Star Wars Legends. But on top of this, my friends, we have some new information about the show. Maul Shadow Lord is about to break a George Lucas tradition. This is one of the only series set from the perspective of a villain. And you might say, well, Maul isn't really a villain, he's more of an anti-hero. He's got
Oh, of course. Maul isn't a villain, he's an anti-hero. Why am I not surprised? We can't even have the bad guys be the bad guys anymore. Disney Star Wars has always had key jingling. Exactly. Right from the get-go, it had key jingling. And on top of that, this is not going to be the first time we've had a Star Wars story set from the perspective of the bad guy. Darth Vader in The Lost Command, for example, is from the perspective of Darth Vader. Plagueis, for crying out loud. The Plagueis novel.
Motivations which make sense. Throughout the Clone Wars and Rebels, you feel sorry for him, you understand his perspective.
No, we don't, because this isn't Darth Maul. This is fake Maul. This is Darth Jake. Darth Jake, because holy crap, this is not Maul. I watched TCW back in the day. I never figured Maul for an anti-hero. What a clown. Welcome, Mike Cassius, to the stream.
He's not a traditional good guy. But Sam Witwer was asked about this, and we have some insane reveals about the plot. Are you ready? I'm so excited.
Oh my god, that actually sounded like AI. Let's listen to that again.
And we have some insane reveals about the plot. Are you ready? I'm so excited.
Are you ready? I am so excited. She doesn't even read that like she's actually excited. Holy crap. Darth Maul died in the Phantom Menace, end of story. Absolutely. Unless you are one of the people who think the Phantom Menace's story is canon from Star Wars Tales. Although I'm debating on whether or not that can... She's 100%... Yeah, she has to be using an AI voice. When you have sound clips like this...
And we have some insane reveals about the plot. Are you ready? I'm so excited.
That definitely reeks of it being an AI. That does not sound genuinely human. That just does not sound like actual human. Meg's voice does sound like AI. Guess Meg is JJ's Ash Rendar. Haha! Now our side is hyping and shilling for Rangers of the New Republic. Like the morbidly obese dropship. Oh, a bloody course they are. I guarantee you, chances are the reason Disney even bothered to settle, and the only reason they might bring Gina back is because that will finally start shutting up voices on our side. That might shut up, a lot of the voices because of what was done to her. I wonder if Star Wars Meg is actually a man. I mean, she might be. She might be.
In essence, my dear friends, the show serves two purposes. Maul is building his criminal syndicate, but at the same time, he's trying to learn more about the Sith. It sounds like he's going to be stalking Darth Sidious, his former master, and Darth Vader. And when you
honestly, wouldn't Maul want to be a part of the Empire? Like, his whole shtick is that he was in service to Palpatine. He was willingly his weapon and tool to wield. It makes no sense to me that Maul would just suddenly be like, oh, I want to take over Mandalore. I don't even know why the hell he even did that. I'm almost certain that Meg is a dude just like that. I guarantee, it's just like that Ash Rendar guy. Yeah, it reeked. When you saw sound and clips like that, it definitely smells of an AI.
Really think about it, the basis for this show, the basis of this subplot, is what was revealed in the Clone Wars Season 7, in Maul's conversations with Ahsoka, because...
Oh, Christ. One of the worst arcs in the entirety of TCW. And TCW was already terrible. If Maul tries to fight Sidious and Vader, he gets killed immediately. Absolutely. Heck, Vader beat an apparition of Maul in Star Wars Tales in the expanded universe by stabbing himself through the gut with his lightsaber using all of his hatred to keep himself alive.
Maul knows quite a lot. He knows the truth about Darth Sidious, the plans for the Empire, and the one person he was trying to stop, or rather kill, is Anakin, because he realized that Anakin was being groomed and was the key to everything. If Anakin was gone, it would have put a major wrench in Darth Sidious's plans just before the war came to an end. But because Maul failed, I wonder if in this show he's going to be after Darth Vader. In the last 3 episodes of Season 7...
Okay, what? Why did Maul want to kill Anakin? Why would Sidious ever reveal like his entire plan to Maul? That absolutely doesn't make any damn sense. The Inquisitors are half Sith, thus giving him a chance to kill him. Hell, he killed 2 in Rebels. I'm happy to say I never liked Filoni's shitty fake Star Wars to begin with. I checked out of TCW after Season 2 aired on Cartoon Network. Good for you, Darth Ghostface. Good for you.
Maul was trying to get through to Ahsoka. He figured that because she left the Jedi Order, she would see the truth, how corrupt the Council and the Republic had become, but she wouldn't really listen. One of the most important things he told her was, quote, Darth Sidious is behind everything, in the shadows, always. But soon, very soon, he will reveal himself. And then Ahsoka asks him, what do you want with Anakin Skywalker? And Maul responds, he is the key to everything.
Honestly, this makes like very little sense. Like, why would Ahsoka just respond with, what do you want with Anakin Skywalker, in response to Maul literally talking about Darth Sidious? What the hell? We all saw Darth Maul die in the Phantom Menace. He's dead. Absolutely. He is dead.
To bring balance to the Force? No, to destroy. He has long been groomed for his role as my master's new apprentice. And part of Maul's...
Yeah, this is definitely reeking of an AI. Now it's just verbatim reading off what the characters say in this stupid scene.
His plan was to lure both Obi-Wan and Anakin to him. As we know, after the Phantom Menace, killing Obi-Wan was one of Maul's main motivations, getting revenge. But to also be able to stop Darth Sidious by killing Anakin, that would have killed 2 birds with 1 stone. But because Maul failed, I wonder if in the new show, he's going to be tracking down Darth Vader. And in a new interview, that is what Sam Witwer implies. He says this. He puts it in a very eloquent manner. He says, quote, he comes from a time of magic, knights, passion, enthusiasm, aggression, fire, and magic. And now he's seeing...
There's no magic in the Star Wars universe. The closest thing to magic you get is the damn Force. Shut the hell up. As we know, in the Phantom Menace, Darth Maul dies and Palpatine doesn't even care. Absolutely. Maul coming back from being bisected in half with a lightsaber makes 0 sense. I'm more willing to believe he comes back as a brain in a jar than he does with his entire top half intact.
Empire that he knew was coming, and the magic and the color is being sucked out of the universe. How does he feel about that? What does he do about it? Did he know things were going to be the way they'd become? Is it different to what he expected? And how does he feel that affects him? Can he do anything about it? He knows how powerful Sidious is, so this guy is trying to figure out his destiny. And he also alludes to exploration of Maul's past.
Oh no. How much are you willing to bet that they are going to completely destroy Maul's backstory? Vader is a freaking cyborg, and yet he can still beat Maul. Agreed. There are morons out there who think the Force is magic. They're retarded and don't understand Star Wars. I have actually not met I think I've met one person in the entirety of my career here who thinks that the Jedi are actually a religion. Like, he actually tried doubling it down when I corrected him.
We might see flashbacks to his childhood, or as Witwer calls it, the events that shaped him in his upbringing, which might have crossovers with the Darth Plagueis novel. Witwer then says, we're going to see how Maul feels about the Jedi and the Sith. And on the subject of Maul's mystery apprentice, he says, quote, she's quite something. It
Oh, she's going to be quite something, all right. She's going to be something that will make me very, very angry.
doesn't sound like this is Darth Talon. There are rumors going around giving her a different name, but like I said, you never know if she's based on her.
You know, we are 7 minutes into an 8-minute video, and she has yet to talk about Ahsoka Season 2. That is very telling.
This is a very exciting day, my friends, because we just got a ton of new info, and Lucasfilm have now further clarified the show is coming in 2026. So the rest of 2025 is going to be rather scarce. We have Star Wars Visions and a couple of other bits and bobs here and there, Young Jedi Adventures, but the bigger stuff is next year. The Mandalorian and Grogu, Maul Shadow Lord, and Ahsoka Season 2.
Oh,
and
Christ.
Speaking of this, I gave you guys a big update on Amanus Vandi yesterday, but now we have our first official still of Ezra Bridger from Season 2.
Congratulations, he shaved a beard. He looks like the type of guy I would want to punch in real life. Like, seriously. The Force is an energy created by all living things. It surrounds us. It penetrates us. Get it? It binds the galaxy together. Yeah, that is basic. The Force is an energy field. Who gives a crap about visions? Apparently these Disney shows do, I guess. Hoka. Thank God the Maul show, if after is rated in PT, the EU Maul is perfection and an actual threat, unlike TCW. Welcome to the stream, Casual Chris. Oh, goody. He has blue eyes. Xanatos. Ezra looks like a man-child. Yeah, he does. He looks like he needs his bottle. Ass hooker.
Clean-shaven, working with his old friends, Hera and Zeb, in the New Republic. Now this picture is making the rounds, but very few people are talking about its context. This was part of Ezra's evolution. Like I said, they were showing the transition from animation to live action in various photos at San Diego Comic-Con.
Oh my God, it's just a photo. There's really no context, you moron. Damn.
And this is the one they used for the latest iteration of Ezra. Some people say it was a mistake. They accidentally used an Ahsoka Season 2 photo, but I reckon Lucasfilm knows exactly what they're doing.
Lady, Lucasfilm hasn't known what it's doing ever since they bought the damn property back in 2012. Shut up.
They're trying to get the hype up, and they know how to do that. There are some other really cool reveals, my friends. Like I said, some replica heads. And also check this out. Cad Bane's mask from the Book of Boba Fett. Awesome stuff. Hopefully.
No, this isn't really awesome. In fact, as somebody who literally has the name awesome in his YouTube name, yeah, no, this isn't awesome at all. No, the hell they don't. Cringe. Absolutely. So that was Star Wars Meg, everybody. Star Wars Meg. Anyone here read Maul Lockdown? That type of dark shit would never fly with Disney. I have the book, but I haven't read it yet. I still have to read Shadowhunter. First. Disney Lucasfilm is run by a bunch of unqualified and incompetent people who don't understand Star Wars. Absolutely. Agreed. That is just facts. Disney does not know what they're doing with Star Wars, period. Ever since 2012. There's also people who think Luke used the Force to move the proton torpedoes into the Death Star or thermal exhaust port room temperature IQs. What? I have never seen a single person in my life say that. No way. I hate AI Meg. I hate AI Meg too, but she is extremely fun to pick on. I beg to differ. They do know what they're doing. They're deliberately destroying George Lucas's work and pandering to the wrong people on purpose. I mean, that could be true, unfortunately. Imagine going from the EU to this shite. All right. Characters got their eyes cut out and had to fight Maul. Mandalorian Wars or bucking Ahsoka Season 2. I would take the Mandalorian Wars in a heartbeat. Okay. Keeping with the Star Wars theme, Now to probably the one guy you really want to see me rip into. Please welcome to the stream to the channel for the very first time, Matt Walsh of the Daily Wire. According to his description, this is from 3 months ago. My negative review of Star Wars Revenge of the Sith has gotten a lot of reaction, nearly all of it extremely negative. Everyone is wrong and I'm right. So already we've got somebody who thinks he knows better than everybody else. Who boy. This is going to be personally. Okay. Let's do this. That ratio though. Holy cow. 2,000 likes to 1.9 thousand. Man. Not this political grifter. I lost my respect for Matt Walsh in recent years. I discovered Matt Walsh 2 months ago, and I cannot undiscover him. Matt thinks Revenge of the Sith sucks. What a retard. Needs more dislikes. Yeah, everybody go dislike his video then. Go clown on him. In fact, I was reading through his stream earlier, and look who's the top comment, by the way. Look who's in the top comment. Oh, it's Star Wars, I write crappy fan fiction theory himself. His criticisms were terrible nitpicks, and only one was somewhat valid. Matt is a Disney shill. Ooh, boy. I destroyed the fan base. Yeah, Disney beat you to the punch there, Buzz Killington. Matt Walsh hates sand. Out of touch man who doesn't know what he's talking about is flabbergasted when people tell him he's wrong. 2025 colorized. Matt, have you ever heard the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise? Okay, here we go. Already, like, the vast majority of his comments is just punching him down. He probably hates his children for liking episodes. He probably does. He also disliked Sonic 3. Here he's just there to defend his crush, Anakin Skywalker. Hilarious. Okay, let us get into this proper.
If I personally don't like something, it is a national crisis. Well, I haven't done the comment section in a while.
No, it's not that if you dislike something, it's a national crisis. I mean, it depends. If you dislike the Spider-Verse movies for literally any reason, they go after you. Trust me, I should know. But it's more so your reasons for disliking it that get everybody, enraged. So, Matt, already you're propping yourself up as if everybody literally cares about your opinion. Matt Walsh doesn't care about the culture war. He's a grifter. Theory doesn't even like Revenge of the Sith. He likes Filoni's revisionist crap. Why am I not surprised? Reminder, Matt Walsh believes in the debunked myth that video games cause real world violence. He's not. Oh my gosh. He might be the only person left on planet Earth that actually believes that stupid lie. Andres Hernandez, welcome to the stream. What happened here? Matt Walsh made a review of Revenge of the Sith, and he didn't like it, but it was full of nitpicks and bad criticisms. So a lot of people did not like it. As a result, he got a lot of flack, and now he is responding to them with Revenge of the Sith fans can't answer these Star Wars questions. Okay, Matt Walsh. I've watched Revenge of the Sith. I have read the expanded universe. I know a fair good bit about Star Wars, so let's go. Zebby, Matt Walsh is dumber than a box of rocks. Absolutely.
Oh, but I had to bring it back to respond to some of the comments on yesterday's show, specifically the cancellation where I canceled Revenge of the Sith after watching the re-release in theaters. And
you canceled Revenge of the Sith. How the fudge do you do that? Look, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I know the ins and outs of of cancel culture, but how the hell can you cancel a movie that came out over 20 years ago? A great movie, by the way. Matt didn't cancel shit. I feel like the Ben Shapiro and the Daily Wire aren't actually knowledgeable about it. Yeah, no, they aren't, because Ben Shapiro thinks Rogue One's a good movie. A re-release that increased its box office to $900 million. Yeah, sadly, all that money's going to Disney, though. His kids, when they grow up, Dad, you're an imbecile. Okay, so he brought back responding to the comment section because he most likely got triggered by his comment sections absolutely flooring him in the chat. So let's go.
Comments are, as expected, very negative, very much not in agreement with me. Very upset. A lot of very upset people. And I say it's not a surprise, but I did think that the prequel trilogy was pretty widely understood to be crappy.
That has changed in recent years, you out-of-touch hack. Prequel resurgence. It's a beautiful thing. Hashtag fake victim.
I thought the prequels were infamous for being low quality, poorly written, sloppy cash grabs. I mean, there was a time when I think everyone basically saw it that way.
No, not everyone. Real Star Wars fans actually saw them for what they were. Great movies. And the rest of the world is finally waking up. People who hated the prequel trilogy are a vocal minority. Matt Walsh is hashtag big mad, hashtag triggered way lava. Only morons hated the prequels.
Yes, now we've entered this alternate dimension where everyone's pretending that these terrible movies are actually good. So,
oh my God, pretending, everybody. Apparently, we are pretending to like the prequels. Did you hear that, everybody? No, I hit the control key. Dang it.
Dimension where everyone's pretending that these terrible movies are actually good. So,
oh my God. I swear, sometimes this man, you mean like a multiverse? Oh no. No. Retard alert class. I got ear cancer. Everybody, press F in the chat for Solar Volodun getting ear cancer. F in the chat for our good buddy Solar Volodun. There's actually one thing I need to do real quick. I forgot. I was planning on dropping this off in the some Discord. So give me a sec. Here. And done. That took me like this dude looks like a hipster cosplaying as a conservative. Absolutely.
Oh, let's go through some of the comments. I'll just read a chunk of them right off the top. Might be the only time in history I disagree with you. This is an awful take. Matt having a non-awful take on movies challenge. Impossible. Matt Walsh on politics. Good. Matt Walsh on movies. Bad.
It would help if you actually showcase the damn comments on screen as well. You're reading them off way too fast and you're not showing them. So how the hell do we even know these are actual comments? At least John Campea can acknowledge that there are people that love the prequels, even if he doesn't. He's a boomer pretender. Matt Walsh is not good on politics either.
Matt Walsh, stick to politics. Your movie takes risk the death of your side's victories in the culture war. Yes, our success in the culture war hinges on me liking Star Wars.
No, our success in the culture war relies on you not being a freaking moron. Problem is, you are one. Guys, why is it that all the big names freaking get all the damn success in channels like mine? Like, I just got 460 subs, which I appreciate, by the way. But it's like, we're struggling here. Like, come on. The only thing Walsh has been right about is when it comes to transgenderism and gender ideology.
They have just destroyed the culture by not liking Star Wars. One guy on the internet doesn't like Star Wars. The culture's done. It's over.
No, what we're saying here is that it's your dumb takes that are effectively making it hard for people to take us seriously. Jeez.
What kind of power I have? If I personally don't like something, it is a national crisis.
Stop there, pal. Don't let the ego get to your head. Dear God. We need to get you to 500 subs so you people can send you super chats and become a join member on your chat. I have ideas of what I want to do for channel memberships. The problem is how the heck I'm going to be like. One idea I had was I wanted to collect all the old West End Games RPG books for Star Wars, and I wanted to see if I could do like an RPG thing for with channel members. I thought that would be like a pretty cool idea. But please like and subscribe to the channel, share, spread the word. I would really appreciate getting up to 500 subs. That would be greatly appreciated. I appreciate each and every single one of you that subscribes. It means the world to me that you guys sub, because I am genuinely trying to give you the best type of content that I can give you. He's talking like he's the president. He is nowhere near cool enough to be the president. He doesn't have a cool enough dance. Say what you want about President Trump, but that man can dance.
Which is how people treat it. I am not allowed to not like certain things.
No, it's not that you're not allowed to not like certain things. It's that you're not allowed to dislike certain things if your reasoning for not liking that thing is by being an idiot. Dear God. It's not that I'm saying, like, for example, when I gatekeep people for liking Disney Star Wars, it's not that I'm saying you're not allowed to like this thing, but if you like this thing, there are going to be consequences.
You're just not allowed. There are certain things, if you don't like it, people will let you know. No, you're not allowed to not like that. You have to like that. Then you know?
No one is saying you have to like Revenge of the Sith. Just have good reasons for not liking it. Jedi Prime, welcome to the stream. You have a really kick-ass profile picture there, dude. He's allowed, he will just appear stupid. Well, he's appearing stupid right now. He is very triggered, very big mad right now because a bunch of people went after him for not liking Revenge of the Sith. People are allowed to like bad movies and shows. However, you are not allowed to call yourself a Star Wars fan if you like Disney Star Wars. Abso-freaking-lutely.
Like it. Yeah, but I just don't like it. Well, but you have to. You have to like it. Find a way to like it. Watch it until you like it.
Nobody is saying that. Do you have any receipts of someone in the comments telling you to like Revenge of the Sith? Demanding that you like this movie? I bet there isn't. In fact, I bet that's why you're not even presenting any of these comments. I bet if I went to the comments of your actual Revenge of the Sith video, I guarantee a lot of people there are actually smart and are debunked and have debunked a lot of the crappy opinions you had. I might actually go ahead and react to his and tear apart his review maybe on next week's stream. Because I'm going to try and keep it to like a 3 video reaction format. Walsh is creating a straw man argument here. As it appears that many people think of Disney Star Wars when they hear Star Wars, it looks like Star Wars is in reality a niche fan base. Honestly, pretty much anything in science fiction is a niche fan base. The problem is when it gets mainstream.
The beatings will continue until morale improves. Sorry, Matt, you're deadly wrong on this. Revenge of the Sith is amazing. Y'all tripping. Just came to say this dude is dead wrong. This might be the worst Matt Walsh take ever. Unsubscribing. There are a lot of those. A lot of unsubscribing.
Okay, that's a totally fair reaction to have. I've unsubbed from people for liking bad stuff. I've unsubbed from people for shilling for stuff. It's not an uncommon thing to do. Like what? If you have a bad take, I'm not allowed to unsub. Do I have to be like your slave for life? Jeez.
Okay, so thousands of responses like that. You notice what they're all missing? Which is any kind of explanation for how exactly I'm wrong.
They're comments. I'm not expecting somebody to type a whole essay length comment telling me why Across the Spider-Verse is amazing, which it isn't, by the way. Crappy movie. But it's like you're expecting your audience to be able to type out essay length 500-page explanations for why your takes on Revenge of the Sith are wrong. Dude, why don't you just go ahead and watch Anomaly Inc.'s Revenge of the Prequels? He literally debunks a lot of the crappy stuff that is thrown at the prequels.
I laid out my case. I explained it in detail. I explained, citing examples, why the dialogue is bad, the acting's bad, the action choreography is bad, the story has a million plot holes.
The action choreography is bad? Oh my gosh. Hang on, chat. I gotta check and see just how far back was his Revenge of the Sith review, because it was like 3 months ago. So I got to do a good amount of scrolling. Give me a second. 2 months ago. I'm in the 2 months category. Blah 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 blah. Okay, 3 months ago. Matt, yeah, it's 3 months ago that he watched it. It's 15 minutes long. And then he made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He made 7 videos. One of them is a rap videos video. And then he made his answer, the video I'm covering right now. Okay, so I'm gonna add this to my special playlist. Those aren't actual criticisms. Those are just basic level RLM copy paste. Yeah. Oh my. He talks about the Mace and Palp fight and says it's bad. I mean, there you can make an argument that, yeah, it's not the greatest. But honestly, it's not the worst either. The fight wasn't that good, but wasn't terrible, but chooses to ignore every other one. Red letter media are retarded. Gay letter media. I bet he's gay for red letter media.
Now, does anyone step up to the plate and actually argue? You know, is anyone arguing that the acting is good?
I mean, I'm here right now arguing, so yes. Yes, I am.
Do you want to tell me, do any of you in the comments, okay, do you want to tell me that Hayden Christensen, the lead actor, the guy this whole thing is about, put in a good performance? Really?
Yes, he put in an excellent performance. He's one of the best actors George Lucas has ever hired to work on his projects. The acting in his face alone sells him as Anakin Skywalker. He can really communicate what he's feeling with his face. Yes, he did. Absolutely. Hayden Christensen is Anakin Skywalker. No ands, ifs, or buts about it.
Okay, so if you're going to rank like the great cinematic performances of all time, where is Hayden Christensen on that list? Where do you think?
I mean, I wouldn't know, but I'd put him somewhere in the top 5, maybe top 3. My dad, nearly in his 60s, always says that Hayden is the best Anakin. This guy is one away from hashtagging to renew the Acolyte. Oh my gosh, it would be hilarious if he actually did that. Yeah, it was actually a good performance. Even Red Letter Media admitted that he was a good actor. Holy crap.
No, you don't want to say that.
Yes, we do want to say that. I just literally said it. You hack.
Because obviously it's not good. Okay, so then what about...
Okay, so why don't you just pull up your clip from your review and explain why it's bad? Or why don't you just give us a quick rundown? If it's so obvious, then why are people arguing against you? My parents, who grew up with the OT, loved the prequel since day one.
About the dialogue. Does anyone really want to tell me that the dialogue is good? Does anyone... Dialogue that includes a scene where the bad guy literally throws up his fists and screams no into the air. You want to tell me that's good dialogue?
Oh my God. Are you literally attacking one of the most tragic scenes in cinematic history? The scene where Vader screams in anger and pain because he threw away everything and didn't get what he needed? Yes, it is one of the best scenes in all of history.
Really? That's what you call good?
Yes.
That is actually dialogue that at this point could be written by ChatGPT.
Dude, no has been a classic Star Wars line going all the way back to episode 4. When Luke watched Obi-Wan die. Shut the hell up. This guy would attack Joruus C'baoth for having a tantrum after being attacked by Mara. I bet he hasn't read any of the books, and if he does, he's going to hate every single one of them.
That is AI dialogue, okay? That is not... that's dialogue.
How is that AI dialogue? Please tell me, how is that AI dialogue?
That is nothing but cliche. It's the definition of bad dialogue.
So just because something is a cliche means it's bad. You do know cliches exist for a reason, right? And I'm not saying that you can't do a cliche wrong, but cliches can also be done right, and they work because they work. This morning is like the idiots from Screen Crush reviewing No Way Home, being selective on comments that they can show on the video and ignore the actual problems. Oh, I would probably have to review. Oh, yeah. That reminds me. I got to add Screen Crush to my list of people to react to. Absolutely. And I got to check on New Rockstars at some point. It's been a while since I covered him.
So you want to tell me that's good dialogue? Look, I don't think you do. I don't think you do. I don't think any.
How do you know what we think? Really getting very cocky there, aren't you, Matt Walsh?
No one wants to actually argue with a straight face that the dialogue is good or that the acting is good. So
yes, I can. My face is absolutely straight right now. I cannot I legit don't laugh when I'm saying that the dialogue in the prequels is good. And I swear, I really would love to know what this guy has a problem with when it comes to the choreography. I would really want to know.
Or maybe you do. So go ahead. Go ahead and make that argument. Tell you what, here's what I want you to do. Go through the script of which you could easily find the script on, or if you're a super nerd, you have it memorized. Give me, I don't know, 3 examples. No, not even 3. 1. Give me 1 example of good dialogue in the script. Give me 1 little snippet. You know, a few lines, a little scene, a sequence, something. Just a conversation and cite it. Okay, give me a citation. So what I want you to do is, here you go, Matt. Here's this scene of the dialogue. Here's the dialogue, and this is good dialogue. I think you can. I think you cannot find.
Let's go to the comments again, shall we? Let's see. Here we go. You were the chosen one. It was said you would destroy the Sith, not join them. Bring balance to the Force, not leave it in darkness. I hate you. You were my brother, Anakin. I loved you. Guys, is that bad dialogue to you? Is that bad dialogue to you? Here's one. Hello there. We should also be grateful that Vader can speak at all. His injuries affected his vocal cords so badly he has to use a vocoder to create his menacing growl. You have allowed this Dark Lord to twist your mind until now. Until now, you have become the very thing you swore to destroy. Nope. No. Anything with Palp is S tier. Well, tell that to Matt Walsh, everybody. Everybody, please, in the comments, leave these quotes. Please. I don't even think he actually responded to any of these. Like, he didn't actually. Oh, here's another one. So this is how liberty dies. With thunderous applause is a great line. Yes, that is in fact a great line. Ooh, look, Sea Spray cameo. Awesome. You guys get a Sea Spray cameo.
Find 1 snippet of good dialogue in the whole damn movie. I bet you can't.
We just did, you moron.
So then what is it? What about the action? You know, go back to the scenes where...
Oh, here we go. Here comes the action. Here comes the part where he hates all of the lightsaber scenes choreographed by Nick Gillard himself. Gillard. Matt Walsh thinks They Fly Now is amazing dialogue. Once more, the Sith shall rule the galaxy, and we shall have peace.
Emperor Ovaltine is fighting the 3 Jedis, and tell me that that's well choreographed, crisply executed action.
It's not the best, and frankly, George Lucas shouldn't have had Ian McDiarmid actually, do the fight. But it's not the worst. If you want some of the worst lightsaber fights, go to the sequels. Literally, any lightsaber fight Rey is in with Kylo Ren is automatic garbage. It's garbage.
You want to tell me that? I don't think you do. So I'm not seeing any arguments here. I'm just not. And there's so much more. I gave a lot of examples. I could have given many more examples of the problems with this movie. I didn't even get into the names of these characters.
Oh my God. Are you actually going to nitpick the names of the characters? Also, the actors did 85% of their stunts. That's awesome. Rey looks like she's swinging a baseball bat like a lunatic. Absolutely. You know, it's not like it's literally called a lightsaber. But holy crap, he literally is going to have a problem with, Anakin Skywalker or General Grievous. He hasn't given any examples, has he? No, he hasn't. He hasn't yet.
Who was the one, the robot, the evil robot?
Oh my God. He's a cyborg, not a robot. I literally see nobody accidentally mistake Grievous for a droid. What the crap?
That named General Grievous? Like,
What the hell is wrong with that name? Please explain to me what is wrong with the name General Grievous.
General Grievous. Well, how'd you come up with that, George? Well, because he's evil and he commits grievous actions.
Mocking George Lucas. You see it live on camera, chat. He's mocking, he's mocking George Lucas. Fake fan alert. Never mind, he does. Quayman Jal Shella. I don't know if I even said that right. Please tell me if I said that right. Quayman Jal Shalal. General Grievous is a great name. His name used in a microseries is perfect and terrifying. Absolutely. But know that I, General Grievous, am not completely without mercy. Oh, yeah. I will grant you a warrior's death. Prepare.
Oh, wow. And then you got all these people in the comments that they think that's clever. That's clever. Do you get it? Because he's Grievous. He does grievous things, and so that's his name.
Why don't you just give examples on I'm pretty sure you're well paid by the Daily Wire. Surely you could throw up some damn comments on the screen. But I bet he can't because it actually showcases people with common sense. Like, next thing you know, this guy is going to hate the name Count Dooku.
I don't know. Like, that's a terrible way to name a character. I don't know how else to explain it to you. In Austin Powers...
Okay, why? Why is it a bad name, okay? Why is it a bad name? How is it a bad way to name a character?
Which is a comedy. The joke is that the evil villain, his name is Dr. Evil. It's a joke because it's so on the nose that it's absurd. And in a serious movie, you would never name the villain literally evil. But
his Count Dooku's name is Darth Tyrannus. Tyranny. The Sith are evil. They're the plain bad guys. Wow, Transformers is such a boring name. Is it because they transform? Wow, way better than Namor being El Niño Sin Amor. Oh my god, every time I think of that damn clip, I can't help but laugh. He thinks Grievous is a robot. He coughs and struggles breathing throughout the film. He clearly is a living being. Yeah, and Grievous and Obi-Wan clearly shoots him in his organ sac. It isn't a bad name. Remember, guys, this is a reason why the movie is bad. Vader is Dutch German for father. Yeah, I remember reading about that.
George Lucas does that with a straight face. So,
Wix. One platform.
Stupid ad, but at least I can actually skip it this time. Boom!
And then the robot has a cough.
He's a cyborg, not a robot, you moron. They make that pretty damn clear. And on top of that, robots have coughed in movies before. Eve coughs in WALL-E. What, are you going to say WALL-E's a terrible movie? Because if you do, I swear to God, I will go hard on his ass. Robots don't cough, you idiot. The prequels are as amazing as Lord of the Rings. Anyone who says otherwise is a moron. A cyborg like Vader, Matthew. George Lucas' dialogue is like poetry. It's like Shakespeare.
Why does a robot have a cough?
Because he's a cyborg!
Okay, what does a robot have I was just talking before we went on air. I got this whole argument with Jacob, who's, you know him from this show because I've destroyed him in Mortal Kombat 7 or 8 times now. And I don't want to get, I guess I'm spoiling it, but he came in to warn me. He says, I'm writing a whole piece for Daily Wire where I'm going to destroy you. I'm going to go piece by piece and prove why you're wrong about Star Wars. I'm going to debunk. I'm going to own you.
Honestly, given your criticisms of Revenge of the Sith so far, I actually would say he has his work cut out for him. Grievous, Dooku, and Maul are the best villains to come out of the prequels. Matt Walsh wins the Retard of the Week award. I actually should totally come up with a Retard of the Week award because Melvin's got Shill of the Week. I don't know what Grizzy has, but Grizzy has his own Shill awards. Wally is a sweetheart. Anyone who hates him will answer to me. I seriously do not know how you can hate Wally. I love that movie so much. Wait, is he referring to J.I. Akum? I don't think J.I. Akum could even, stand to have a job at the Daily Wire. Grievous, Dooku, and Maul represent every aspect of Vader. Absolutely. It's almost like George Lucas actually knows what the hell he's doing.
And I'm looking forward to seeing the piece. But I asked him about this Grievous. Why did the evil robot have a cough? And he said, "Well, because you don't know the lore. You don't know the lore of this. You have to understand the lore. You haven't. There's this. You have to read all the literature."
Okay, I will admit, Jacob was being a freaking idiot. He should have just said, because Grievous is not a robot, he is a cyborg. There's a popular X account called Retard Finder who does a Retard of the Week voting every. Oh, okay. I shouldn't use it then because I don't want to rip off his style. I don't want to rip him off. You've clearly shown you don't understand Star Wars lore. I don't even think he cares about Star Wars in general. I think he hates all 6 films. He just admitted he's illiterate. I will admit, Jacob technically does make a bad point because you shouldn't have to read the expanded universe in order to understand the 6 films because all 6 films can stand on their own feet. Next thing you know, he's going to complain about why does C-3PO panic.
Okay, I've spent years of my life studying Star Wars. And he said that the lore of this evil robot is that he used to be a person. But then he replaced his whole body with a robot.
Oh my God. So basically he used the TCW, origin, not his actual origin, he was involved in a speeder crash, was saved by the banking clan, and eventually accepted their offer to become a cyborg. If he doesn't even like Star Wars, then why is he talking about it? Probably because he needs engagement on his channel. Probably.
He became a robot, but he used to be a person, and that's why he has a cough.
Okay, and what is that called? It's called a cyborg.
Because the actual guy had a cough, had like emphysema or bronchitis, and then he became a robot, and he still has a cough. And I said, well, wait a second. So he replaced every part of his body with machines except his lungs?
He needs his freaking lungs. He doesn't replace his eyes or his internal organs. They're in a freaking sack that you see. If I ever have children, I'll show him or her the George Lucas 6-film saga, but I won't push too hard. I'll let them choose if they like it or not. Didn't this guy say Sonic 3? Yes, he is the guy who said Sonic 3 was bad. Stop embarrassing yourself, Matt. Bro, how can you not realize that Grievous is a cyborg by just watching the film alone? Also, Khalil, if they end up liking Star Wars, you should totally get them involved in the expanded universe. And make sure they call it the expanded universe and not Legends. Got it?
That have pneumonia. That's the one part you don't replace? The part of your body that's the biggest problem is the one that doesn't turn robotic?
He doesn't even replace. He doesn't really replace. He has a freaking sack of organs that you see in the movie.
So, explain that. Anyway. Okay. Well, it's.
Okay. What's it?
Well, okay, here's another comment that annoyed me.
Annoyed him. So he is indeed triggered. He is, in fact, triggered. Clearly, Grievous was a human or alien at some point because you see his rib cage at Obi-Wan fight. Absolutely. Grievous's species was the Kali. Grievous was a Kali. Solar Volodun. Obi-Wan literally shoots his organs. So he wasn't annoyed before. Honestly, this entire video just reeks of, again, he's very pretentious. He can't handle not being right, even when it's very obvious that he is.
What are we at? It's 8.5 minutes. Matt hates everything, only talks about movies he hates. Pure rage bait. I also want to say to this annoys me. And it's funny when I see comments like this, which I see all the time, especially when I commit the sin of not liking something. If I don't like something in pop culture everyone likes.
No, it's when you commit the sin of not liking something for stupid reasons and not even admitting it's stupid reasons. Double AA, welcome to the stream. Hail, people. Oh, God, not this dumb mother clucker. He literally tried. Yeah, that is actually what we're covering right now. That's what we're actually covering. Another great line. So uncivilized. So uncivilized. Matt Walsh stay with politics. Apparently, he's not even good with politics either. My chat tells me. He has to be baiting it. He has to be. Grizzy should nominate Matt Walsh for the Simple Jack Award at the next Shill Awards. Yeah, we should make him aware of this.
But I talk about stuff I like all the time. I did a whole video just last week about why I like the movie Master and Commander. That was the only point of the video. There was no hook to it. It was nothing. I just liked the movie Master and Commander. I think it's a great film. And so I made a video about why I like it. I did a video before that about why I like the show Severance. I did a video where I talked about 3 movies that are coming out this year that I'm looking forward to. I talk about books that I like all the time. And
do you? Because it looks like more often than not, you're trying to clown on the left. Or, the liberals. Do you? He obviously doesn't like sci-fi genre movies. Anyone know if this goober liked it? Chances are he might actually be the type of person who liked Andor. I would have to scroll through his channel and check. In fact, I am going to check real quick. Hang in there. Give me a sec. I don't even know if he covered it. No, he does not have a. He does not have a video on it. No. All I'm seeing is like the theory is going to debate Matt Walsh, which I don't even think that's happened yet. I don't think like honestly, if Matt likes Andor, that would make him even more retarded. Sci-fi is my jam too. I really want to spam that GIF I use on Twitter with Van Darkholm saying co-parter. It's the least Matt deserves. He would say Daily Wire movies and shows are... So he's a shill for the Daily Wire. Have you seen the Ben Shapiro Critical Drinker movie? No, I haven't, but I do know that they ranked Rogue One pretty high. He's probably doing the smart move and not talking about Star Wars anymore. Yeah, but...
And so I talk about stuff I like all the time. And people who listen to the show, they know that. They know that I talk about it. So the comments that say, well, you only talk about the stuff you don't like, they're actually, that's a self-report. You're self-reporting. Because what you're saying is that you only pay attention to the content.
Well, the vast majority of your content, based on what I've scrolled through, looks like you focus on negative more than positive, meaning that technically these people are right. Science fiction and horror are my 2 favorite genres. Okay. The Daily Wire.
Content that's negative. You only pay attention when I'm saying I don't like something. So when I put out a video saying, hey, let me tell you why I like this movie, you don't click on it because you don't think that's interesting. You only want to hear me hate stuff.
Because that gets views. It's called playing to the algorithm, pal. Welcome to life. Positive content, I'm sorry to say, doesn't always do the best. And chances are when I start making videos where I praise stuff that I genuinely love, chances are those won't do very well.
Which is fine. I get it. Okay, I understand it. I'm not, hey, everyone has their taste. But then don't blame me for that. Because you decide to ignore every time I say I like something, don't then turn around and blame me for not liking anything.
We blame you for not liking something for stupid reasons.
You're only interested when I'm ranting and raving about the stuff that I hate. So,
also, I love how his video, the title of his video is just so misleading, saying Revenge of the Sith fans can't answer these Star Wars questions, but it's like we clearly can. I mean, we literally just did it in this stream. YouTuber, hate makes me millions, love makes me tens. He's rage baiting at this point here. Even Star Wars Explained has more understanding this guy. We don't care, Matt Walsh. We don't care.
You know, don't blame me. That's all. Okay, and here's the last guy. This was not all. This is one comment that I liked. Okay, here's the one comment. This is This is someone who disagrees with me, but here's the comment.
Okay.
Can we Star Wars fans accept the fact that a movie can be enjoyable as all hell and still be not that good or even bad?
Not really, because all 6 films are objectively really great. And yes, I say objectively, not subjectively. Get out of here with that artist subjective garbage.
I watched this movie opening night in 2005, watched it several times since then, went to the theater for the re-release last week. I had a blast every time. That doesn't stop me from acknowledging that it's got a lot of issues regarding quality script and generally just making sense. That being said, I assume Matt went way overboard hating on it because hating fun stuff is his thing. But still, there's a lot of issues with Revenge of the Sith. Doesn't mean it's not super enjoyable and best of the prequels. Okay, that's fine. You see, I got no issue with that. I have no issue with that.
You only have no issue with it because the guy legit still basically says there's problems with Revenge of the Sith. That's literally the only reason why you even like it. That guy wrote to him is definitely a Disney Star Wars fan. # fake fan.
No issue with you saying, yeah, it's not a great movie. It's got all these problems. I still like it. That's fine. You can like whatever you want. I'm not telling you not to like something. So that's perfectly fine. My problem is when people have a nostalgic or emotional attachment to something, so then they insist that we all have to pretend that the thing is actually good, that it's high quality art. You know, I mean, I said that I didn't like Sonic 3, and I still have grown adults screaming at me in tears because I don't like Sonic 3.
How do you even know they were in tears? I mean, granted, I don't think Sonic 3 is a perfect movie, but I don't think it's terrible. Chances are the reason people came at you is because you, Matt Walsh, came up with stupid reasons to not like the movie. Revenge of the Sith has the best lightsaber fights. Facts. Then why watch and enjoy movies then? I don't know. Disney Star Wars fans are the ones who pretend bad movies and shows are good. Us real Star Wars fans don't do that shit. Us real Marvel fans also don't do that shit either. Unless it's Spider-Man 3. Spider-Man 3 is an ironic masterpiece.
You know, and it's fine if you want to say, yeah, you know, Sonic 3, I mean, it's Sonic. It's not a great film, but I kind of liked it. That's fine. But don't try to tell me it's a good film.
I mean, it's a decent film in my opinion, in my humble opinion. I'm not going to go ahead and lecture people for thinking it's good because, frankly, I can understand why people would think it's good. Spider-Man 3 was disappointing, but it's better than the MCU Spider-Man movies. Yeah, I would agree with that. Honestly, I can't blame the movie because, you know, studio interference. I've never gone into Sonic. Yeah, that's fair. I especially would not recommend getting into Sonic the way it is currently going.
And yet this is what I have. Grown adults looking at me with a straight face and saying, no, Sonic 3 is a great film. What? It's a great film? Sonic 3? You would put it in the pantheon of the great films of all time? What is it, like The Godfather, Citizen Kane, Sonic 3, Casablanca? Come on. Let's get real, folks.
I would say I'm real because, dude, while I'm not going to say Sonic 3, at least Sonic 3 respected the lore, unlike some movies. Absolutely. It actually tries. I'm not going to say it's a perfect movie, but, you know, it was an okay film. What was the point of his review then? If he knew he's going to have to face the backlash from his opinion. I don't know then. Get real? The Godfather is a masterpiece. I have not seen The Godfather, but I know it's play Sonic Adventure games and Unleashed and experience one of the best game series ever. I played Unleashed. I have played Unleashed, and it is my favorite Sonic game, but the Sonic Adventure games are kind of a bit of a mixed bag for me to an extent. I don't hate them, but they're not 100% for me, if that makes any sense. I do like Unleashed a lot more.
So, it was 13 minutes on that. I've now spent about 30 minutes this week of total airtime talking about Revenge of the Sith. So, this is what you get. I'll do more. I'll do 15 minutes tomorrow. So, you're gonna try to hector and scold me into liking it. Well,
honestly, that's not what we're trying to do. We're just shaming you for being stupid. We're laughing at you, Matt Walsh.
Play at that game. You don't want to get into a scolding competition with me, all right? If you like to...
Actually, I would really, really like to get into a scolding competition with you because I would floor you. I would floor you, Matt Walsh. You've got to see The Godfather and its sequel, The Godfather Part 2. Both are in the top 10 greatest movies of all time. Stay away from the... Yeah, that's what I've heard. Watch the first 2 Godfather movies. Skip the third. I will at some point. I just actually got around to watching RoboCop a couple days ago. I actually got around to watching the original 1987 RoboCop movie. This guy rather listened to the radio than watch television. Old school schmuck. Yeah, he definitely looks like someone who enjoys audio stuff more than watching stuff. We came here to laugh at you, Matt. Thinks General Grievous is a droid like C-3PO. Isn't radio radio is kind of a dying format ever since Rush Limbaugh passed away, but it's still around-ish. Sonic 3 isn't perfect, but enjoyable for its limitations like CGI. It is pretty well made. Yeah, but I would say it's an okay film. Okay. Okay, last video. And this is a video I have been wanting to do for a while, ever since I first started this channel. And this isn't Star Wars related, but it does have to do with a familiar face in the Star Wars fandom. You know him. You can't stand him. He is Aluza. Please welcome to the channel for the very first time, JJ Plagiarisms with the Red Letter Media of Spongebob SquarePants. Here we go. Theory? No, not Theory. Not this week. I can't stand another one of his fan fictions right now. Oh, God. Yeah, let's get into this because it is... No, don't. I'm sorry, man. We're doing it. Hide your dogs. Oh, no, JJ Plagiarisms. The Zoo File. All right. Brace your ears, everybody. Oh my god. Why am I getting the AI SpongeBob crap now? No. Do not recommend Mr. Patrick to me. No. I thought he was going to retire after his embarrassment defeat from Melvin. Actually, about that. No. Here we go. Here's the one. I'm really sorry to you all if I've been coming off as a wannabe. I've been really stressed as of late with a lot of things going on in both my head and in my personal and online life, but I've calmed down now. I'll try to stop venting whenever I get overwhelmed. I'm seeing a psychologist right now, and I'm trying to take accountability for my past actions without saying but. I'll get back to making Star Wars videos. It's best to preserve for everything and deal with people mocking or insulting me. It's happened since my channel existed after all. He's not retiring, people. He's not retiring. He did, but then he walked back on that decision. He just needs to go away and stop embarrassing himself. And the ad just played without me even... Okay. Brace your ears, everybody. As much as he's generally based on hating on Disney and praising the EU, he's not based on hating on Disney because he doesn't even want Disney Star Wars to freaking fail. Please leave the internet, JJ Plagiarisms. Nobody likes you. YouTube pushing AI slop is authentic. Absolutely. Hashtag rescue JJ Plagiarisms. Dog. All right, let's dive in.
From Red Letter Media is a damn liar. By now we should all know that. That is wide amount of assumptions, exaggerations, and misinformation to tear down George Lucas's work led to assholes like Simon Pegg or Chris Stuckman
stupid George Lucas Funko Pop down there.
Repeating his bullshit. What people don't want to acknowledge about prequel resurgence is that Mike, under his persona of Mr. Plinkett, manufactured a lot of things. He commonly showed out-of-context clips from X behind-the-scenes documentary and never accurately described what was actually going on. You go and watch those documentaries for yourself, and you realize Mike was full of shit. That, and he also doesn't give any sufficient context. When he was describing A New Hope's opening and how exciting it was compared to The Phantom Menace or whatever, and tried saying that it was George Lucas who probably fought against putting it in the movie.
In fact, this is so genius, I have a feeling that George Lucas had nothing to do with it and probably fought against putting it in the movie.
If this guy actually knew about how A New Hope was made, he know that it was George's idea to have A New Hope start that way. It was from...
Oh, okay, so right away, we're already seeing a problem. We're a minute into his video, and he doesn't even have an actual proper intro. He's just rambling off on Red Letter Media right away. That is already a problem. Dear God.
George's script, for Christ's sake. What Mike basically did is treat his biased assumptions as fact. Or he lied. A lot of what he says is easily disprovable. In fact, maybe I should make a video someday fact-checking every assumption and implication he made. Because
I don't think he's actually done that video, though. And again, dude, stop. Get to the point. This is the Red Letter Media of SpongeBob SquarePants, not the Red Letter Media of Star Wars.
There's a lot. Mike did not just critique the prequels. He also used his critique to vilify George Lucas and discredit him as an artist. And this brings me to the topic of today's video.
Here we go.
Because Mike is not an exclusive case to any franchise. Literally anyone of any fan base can say whatever they want, especially if a franchise is starting on the internet.
Just not playing the game isn't enough. I will actively be standing outside of GameStop at the midnight release of Hogwarts Legacy, throwing rocks at people. Stop talking about it and be about it. Jeez. What does SpongeBob have to do with it? You'll see in a moment, Darth Ghostface. Who would name their channel after JJ Abrams' name? I'll tell you who. A loser. A pathetic loser.
Net. If you're able to make that jump, you can say whatever the hell you want, and sometimes you'll be lucky enough to have a big enough following that spews your narrative with not a single person doing their research. A good example of this phenomena is to look at a franchise that you wouldn't typically think could have this, and that's SpongeBob SquarePants. SpongeBob SquarePants is one of the most popular cartoons of the 21st century. Created by the late Steven Hillenburg and premiering on the 1st of May, 1999, the titular character has captured the hearts and minds of children all over the world. However, like anything that grows a large following, there'll also be people that may be dissatisfied later on in the franchise's history and tries to complain about whatever. Now with Star Wars, we know...
Actually, I should let him finish talking.
that Plinkett and all who followed him complained about the prequels ruining Star Wars as a whole, even though that's easily disprovable. As if we're talking broad terms, Star Wars was actually thriving under George. But it's a similar case replicated with SpongeBob. So, a common narrative spread around SpongeBob is that seasons 4 to 8 of SpongeBob SquarePants, after the release of the first movie in 2004, bastardized the show when it should have never been made, and that the creator Steven Hillenburg and most of the writing staff left after the original movie. This narrative also presents season 9 onwards as the renaissance of the show, and that it saved the show, with Hillenburg and friends returning around the time of the second movie, Sponge Out of Water, in 2015. But as you will soon learn from me, none of this story holds true.
Part 1. Here we go. So, to recap, basically, according to JJ Plagiarisms, all of the critiques, all of the complaints that we have had about SpongeBob after the first movie is all a lie. It's all a lie, and that we're all liars. That's what the point he's trying to make. SpongeBob hasn't been good in over 20 years. Don't I know it? Didn't Hogwarts Legacy have trans characters in it? These SJWs would like that, but because J.K. Rowling doesn't subscribe to gender ideology, they wanted that game to fail. Seasons 9 to 11 of SpongeBob were slightly better than season 4 to 8, but they were nowhere near as good as... Yeah, I agree, and I'm someone who saw seasons 9 to 11. I've seen them all on streaming.
So, you think you know...
Exodus.
The post-movie SpongeBob narrative is that most of the show's original writers, Hillenburg and friends as we'll call them, left the show after season 3 and the movie. However, none of this is true. Although it is true that Hillenburg took a backseat as a showrunner, just like George Lucas and Star Wars, everything had to go through Hillenburg and earn his stamp of approval.
No, Hillenburg left the show entirely and had absolutely no involvement with it until he came back. The first 3 seasons of SpongeBob in the first movie were peak. He doesn't even really present any actual evidence to support this either.
Read every script and ask for changes or rewrite the storyboards himself.
He's trying to act as if Steven Hillenburg was George Lucas, essentially. He's trying to act like Steven Hillenburg was George Lucas, even though Hillenburg had absolutely no desire to make any more SpongeBob after the first movie. So he had absolutely zero involvement. What an idiot.
Often adding jokes and adjusting them and whatnot. As for the other writers, Paul Tibbitt, for example, who worked on SpongeBob since the very beginning and could pretty much be considered the show's co-creator, became the main showrunner after the movie. Another important writer, Aaron Springer, who was around since season 1, continued working on SpongeBob well into the later seasons. If you want to know how long, it was up until season 8.
So he did leave the show at one point. I would say SpongeBob episodes made after Steven Hillenburg died are worse than the episodes that were made while Paul Tibbitt was the showrunner from 2005 to 2015. Yeah, I agree. I do agree. Oh, I had that happen to me once. I had that happen to me once that I had a Star Wars theory ad.
Also Zeus Service, who started working on the show in season 2 and continued on into the later seasons, up until season 9. Critics of
Another
the show
character who left.
are somewhat right about 2 people who left, but not the exact date. First, there's C.H. Greenblatt, who was an important creative force from the show's conception. He did leave SpongeBob to make Chowder. However, he didn't leave after season 3 and the movie. He left after season 4 with Hillary.
Care to actually present this evidence, you moron? Or are you just going to have us accept your evidence as facts? Well, I'm waiting.
Hillenburg taking a back seat. Greenblatt in particular had more control over the show than he ever did before. The art and writing style is more noticeable than ever in episodes such as Fear of a Krabby Patty and Selling Out. In the latter, he even voiced one of the characters. It is worth noting that he isn't credited as writer or the storyboard guy in Selling Out, but his touch is certainly felt and cannot go unnoticed. His credits can even be seen in Fear of a Krabby Patty, as he got credits as a writer and the storyboard guy. You can notice his art and animation style in Fear of a Krabby Patty, and if you can...
Again, dude, can you really show any actual evidence? Come on. Recently, the viewership ratings for the recent SpongeBob episodes have all been at an all-time low. Hopefully, this means Nickelodeon can't milk SpongeBob any longer and will finally cancel it. I mean, I hope so. Looks like I'm out of my depth here. No pun intended.
Compare it to Chowder, which he created, you can notice the similarities. Lastly, we should talk about Dan Povenmire. While not majorly credited in the opening credits, more so in the end credits, he also worked on the show from 2001 to 2004.
Another person who left, dude. So basically, we were right about original writers leaving.
He is notable for writing a bunch of the classic songs like the Campfire Song. He did leave around season 4, so that's pretty much the only valid case. He left specifically to go make Venus and Ferb, which...
Steven Hillenburg also left, dude. Hate to break it to you. Would JJ get a C song to rub his... Or is he wearing vanilla in his suit? SpongeBob should have ended in 2004 like how Hillenburg intended. Well, according to us real SpongeBob fans, it did end in 2004.
Would eventually get on air in 2007. I may have left out a lot of other writers, but these are the main guys.
I may have left out a bunch of other writers. So already we're seeing that he's just making vague generalities. So he's lying. You know, his voice is so boring that you could use it to fall asleep to. Absolutely. If my ears weren't so busy bleeding.
To the quality.
Now, even if the critics of post-movie SpongeBob are wrong about the writers, it doesn't necessarily mean they're wrong about the show's decline in quality. However, what does prove the quality is an unbiased assessment of the episodes. There's a bunch of common criticisms of the show that can also be applied to the first 3 seasons.
Oh, here we go. This is exactly why I wanted to cover this. He says that a lot of the criticisms thrown at the later seasons and can be applied to the classic seasons. I will so be ready to rip into this. That's true. SpongeBob is a TV series and one movie, which there says its series finale. That's true. But okay. Yeah.
Plus the movie, what many pre-movie purists consider the peak of the show. If you've watched Mysterious Mr. Enter, who is one of the most prolific critics of SpongeBob,
I used to watch him for a bit, and then I stopped.
Definitely falls into the category of a pre-movie purist. He has videos made around the peak of post-movie SpongeBob hate, which I'd say is around 2013 to 2015. While he has dialed back on his personal hatred of certain writers and apologized for the time he personally attacked one of them, the point is, his perspective on SpongeBob concerns season 4 being okay, while seasons 5 to 8 are the ones he despised. It seems the pre-movie purists especially hate season 6. and Mr. Enter is no exception.
By the way, I should already bring it up to you. If I remember correctly, the idea is that this wasn't even a video JJ wanted to make. This was a video he was suggested to by his by a ghostwriter. Yeah, he apparently had a ghostwriter. He supposedly has a ghostwriter. That's bullshit. Seasons 1 through 3 of SpongeBob don't have the bad writing the post-movie era episodes have. I never liked the mysterious Mr. Enter. He's insufferable. He used to have a really cool avatar, though. He is his ghostwriter. He very well may have, though. Back to the Future is a classic example of how to market a franchise without killing the story.
There are valid criticisms to make of certain episodes post-movie, such as the infamous one-course meal, which was about Plankton being harassed by Mr. Krabs into almost committing suicide, and the wasted potential of Atlantis SquarePantis, where they got the late David Bowie and never had him sing, among other things. Although,
honestly, I wouldn't want David Bowie to sing because the musical numbers in this special were trash. Like, this was just an straight up terrible episode of the show.
The Patchy the Pirate segments are pretty funny, but there's a lot, and I mean a lot, of invalid criticisms those like Mr. Enter made. I recall in his older videos, Mr. Enter complained about plot holes, contrivances, and continuity in episodes of SpongeBob he didn't like. Anyone who knows the first thing about SpongeBob is that none of these three things matter. SpongeBob is a whimsical world. It's irrelevant. When has SpongeBob ever made sense?
There's a thing called consistency, you moron. Consistency exists. Atlantis SquarePants was overhyped trash like the Force. You can say that about literally any special that that was made after the movie. Holy crap, who cares? Just get to the point.
There are other critiques, however, that don't automatically come from a blatant misunderstanding of SpongeBob. There is barely anything to criticize in Season 4 that are in the other seasons. How to explain
No, there isn't. There's plenty of things to critique about in Season 4 that do not show up in the early seasons. JJ is sounding like Disney shows who try to defend Disney's fake Star Wars canon. Facts.
Later seasons is that there was an overload of episodes ordered by Nickelodeon executives that led to the writers and general staff who worked on the episodes being overworked. That's why we got episodes like The Splinter, in which SpongeBob gets the titular injury in a graphic display. Back to the infamous one-course meal, that particular episode was too real with its subject matter, with Plankton having a legitimate reason to be afraid, and not a cartoonish one, and tried to kill himself in a real way people try to commit suicide. It's easy without context to say why these writers were fucked, but knowing that they were overworked probably just led to some bad or rushed ideas. Not letting the talent be the talent often results in a mess.
Or maybe it's because Steven Hillenburg wasn't dared to steer the ship. You want to know how many episodes Steven Hillenburg was involved with? Nearly every single episode of the first 3 seasons. And they're all pretty much awesome masterpieces. Shut up. The Splinter is one of the worst SpongeBob episodes ever. This guy is just milking it. He may be a closeted shill, or at least needs to fully escape the Disney Matrix. I don't think that's going to be possible. He's too much of a wimp.
Just look at every Star Wars production post-2012. With all that being said, most of the episodes were pretty good. Season 4, in fact, is on par with the original 3 seasons.
No, it is not! It is not on par with it, you moron.
Although seasons 5 to 8 do have a few stinkers, some of which I just mentioned, but they usually are moderately good to on par with episodes from the original 3 seasons.
No, they're not, and I should know. I freaking hate Season 8.
Freakier Friday is now.
Oh, God, Disney's making another Freaky Friday movie. Why? Okay, Here we go. This is the exact reason. He's a fake fan, confirmed. Fake SpongeBob fan, everybody. JJ Plagiarisms is a fake SpongeBob fan. Here's the part I really wanted to cover. Part 3, the character assassination, in quotes, by the way. This is what I really wanted to cover. Let's go.
3. The character assassination.
To address more specific recurring criticisms, let's talk about the characters as pre-movie purists call them Flanderized. To list off the main cast, SpongeBob was bumped up to 11 in how annoying he was. Patrick was either a stupid dumbass or a jerkish smartass. Mr. Krabs is a flat-out greedy business owner. Squidward is the world's depressed punching bag. And Sandy was a scientist and that's it. I'm paraphrasing Mr. Enter here when I say that, but this is neglecting pre-movie episodes. For example...
No, it isn't. This is not neglecting pre-movie episodes.
Mr. Krabs being cheap, and that being it, is nothing unique in post-movie SpongeBob.
Okay, here we go. He's going to bring up the idea that Mr. Krabs being greedy is nothing new. Let's go. He's going to bring up Jellyfish Hunter. Great episode.
Take a look at the season 2 episode Jellyfish Hunter. In that episode, SpongeBob sells jellyfish jam to Mr. Krabs. But come the climax of the episode, it turns out that Mr. Krabs is abusing the jellyfish on an industrial level just to make him money. This episode literally just has Mr. Krabs be greedy, and the main villain. And this wasn't a one-time occurrence either.
In that episode... Okay, I'm going to let him finish with this part, and then I'm going to cover exactly why this is stupid.
About the season 3 episode where Mr. Krabs sells SpongeBob's soul for 62 cents. There's also another season 3 episode, Krabby Land, in which Mr. Krabs literally baits children in with an unsafe, dangerous amusement park with a bare minimum effort put in. Even SpongeBob is distraught over this, and Mr. Krabs receives no sort of redemption in the episode. So it's rather hypocritical talking about Mr. Krabs being only cheap in the post-movie era.
The idea is that you want to know how Jellyfish Hunter, Krabby Land, and Midlife Crustacean end? Jellyfish Hunter. Mr. Krabs gets zapped by all the jellyfish that he accidentally frees, and he ends up taking jelly off the menu. Midlife Crustacean, Squidward calls Mr. Krabs out on being greedy, and Mr. Krabs immediately regrets his decision selling SpongeBob's soul. And in Krabby Land, Mr. Krabs gets beaten up by a bunch of children who get their money back, and he's forced to eat a truckload of lima beans. The problem isn't that Mr. Krabs was greedy or cheap, but it was that whenever Mr. Krabs' greed or cheapness was, the forefront, he always got punished or called out on it. Whereas in the post-movie seasons, a lot of the time, Mr. Krabs gets off scot-free. Like, the episode where he runs the newspaper literally ends with him figuring out that he can print money off the printing press, literally creating counterfeit money. Emphasis on assassination. The way the showrunners have treated Squidward in the post-movie era episodes is disgraceful. Absolutely. I actually agree. I'm glad my other childhood show, Ed, Edd and Eddy, wasn't ruined by Cartoon Network, like how SpongeBob has been ruined by Nickelodeon and Viacom milking it to death.
I also wanted to talk about Squidward, as he's the most talked about character in regards to the show's changing nature. For starters, Squidward has always been the world's depressed punching bag. The earliest example of him doing nothing wrong, but still receiving torment, was the early season 1 episode Jellyfishing, which was the 6th episode ever to be broadcast. That episode literally has Squidward just brush SpongeBob and Patrick off in annoyance, but then have an accident, in which he's stuck in a body cast and goes through so much suffering. And it works. Mr. Enter cites what he calls Squidward torture porns as happening in Season 4's Good Neighbors, when that's not true. Squidward is a character meant to be abused.
The difference between Good Neighbors and Jellyfish Hunter is that you want to know how Squidward gets into that accident? He swats a jellyfish, angering it and causing it to fly under his shirt, stinging him, causing him to fly off a cliff and explode. And yeah, he does get tortured, but SpongeBob and Patrick become aware of their torture and stop it. It's not overdone to death to the point that it's uncomfortable. Like when Patrick does blowing the soup, it's like done 4 times before SpongeBob pulls the bowl away from him. Character regression, stay away from that shtick. It could be bad. I have a feeling Paul Tibbitt hated Squidward's character. That's why he made Squidward torture a thing when he was showrunner. Absolutely. Squidward does literally nothing wrong in the later seasons, yet he gets punished all the same, and it's downright uncomfortable to watch.
Whether he did anything wrong or not. Why? Because he's always miserable. So it makes no difference.
It makes a world of difference because nobody likes seeing a character getting tortured for something that they didn't even do. That's why so many people hate post-movie SpongeBob, especially the Squidward torture corns. I'm sorry, but that is in fact the truth, JJ. You don't understand how comedy works.
I'm not talking smack about the character on an emotional level. I'm just going off the show's original philosophy on Squidward. There were episodes where he deserved his torment and others where he did not. And they all worked.
Every episode where he's tortured in the early seasons, it's all his fault. That you don't really get that in the post movie. Squidward didn't deserve the shit he got in the post movie era of SpongeBob. No, he didn't.
The notion that the tormentor must be the instrument of their own destruction is just untrue when it comes to SpongeBob. Now you can feel bad.
Again, wrong. SpongeBob adhered to this rule back in the pre-movie era, JJ. But you don't care. All you care about is the fact that apparently it's okay for SpongeBob to do it.
For Squidward in these episodes, but you've got to hold the original 3 seasons to the same standard. Also,
yes, we hold the 3 seasons to the same standard, and they take that standard and fly way above it because the 3 seasons are peak.
So, my co-writer pointed out that Squidward was a big...
His co-writer, he has a co-writer.
Seasons to the same standard. Also, my co-writer pointed out that Squidward was a big asshole towards the end of Good Neighbors, as he throws SpongeBob and Patrick's apology cake in the garbage and starts hitting his home security system to do something, which makes the thing go haywire, and so on and so forth. So in regards to SpongeBob, he does admittingly have a higher pitch, but that has more to do with Tom Kenny voicing the character for years and years.
Nobody is complaining about the higher pitch. What people are complaining about is his characterization. SpongeBob is a literal man-child now, way more than he ever was. His crying has gotten extremely annoying because they don't even do anything funny with the crying anymore. You don't get him, shaking like a lawn sprinkler like he did in Grandma's Kisses, and you don't get him, crying into a mug and then drinking his own tears like in Karate Choppers. You just get SpongeBob crying, and that is not entertaining to see, especially when it's not even a funny reason for him to cry or a narratively good one.
Obviously, a character isn't going to sound the same if the same person voices them for over 20 years at this point. It's not intentional, though. This happens with a lot of cartoon characters voiced by the same person for years upon years.
I guarantee you JJ did the most bare... I don't even think he did any actual research. Idiot sandwiches all around. Oh, by the way, hi, Mecha G75. I totally am sorry I did not acknowledge you earlier. My bad. They ruined SpongeBob's character. Absolutely. They even ruined his design, too. And again, I love SpongeBob. He's my favorite character in the show. I love his original design. I even made a community post about it a while back.
If I had to guess, Tom Kenny was probably getting a deeper voice, and so he decided to compensate by constantly changing the pitch of his voice with SpongeBob. So the most
Again, the problem is not SpongeBob's pitch. It was literally his characterization, which you skipped over because you don't know how to do shit. He's the definition of rotten milk. Who is? AAA. Who is? He's crying because his show sucks so darn hard now. I'd cry too.
most important of which is Patrick Star. And just like Squidward, has maintained the trope of him being a jerkish asshole in the early series. As an example, the season 2 episode I'm with Stupid, the episode which introduced Patrick's parents in the most awkward way, but the relevant part is that Patrick wants to impress his parents for their visit to his rock home, and SpongeBob suggests he acts dumber than Patrick to improve his image in his parents' eyes. However, this evolves into Patrick forgetting the favor SpongeBob's trying to do for him with next to no transition. Even Mr. Enter in his original list acknowledged this episode and put it at number 9 on his list. But this isn't the sole example we could use. There's also the season 2 episode.
Okay, so for that one episode, yeah, Adam West did the voice for young Mermaid Man at one point. JJ Loser. Steven Hillenberg would be rolling in his grave if he knew what Nickelodeon has done with SpongeBob after he died with those shitty spin-off shows. Absolutely. I think Camp Coral got the axe, though. But first of all, shoot, I can't remember what the Patrick parent episode is. No, I'm with Stupid. That episode, at the very least, was funny and had some entertaining jokes. And the idea is Patrick deliberately ends up forgetting. Like, there is a stream of logic. SpongeBob acts stupid to make Patrick look good, but Patrick ends up forgetting that it's supposed to be a ruse. That, like, there is a line of logic to follow. I can't wait to see what he tries to talk about with Idiot Box.
The secret box, which concerns a box that Patrick's keeping safe from SpongeBob. And SpongeBob is eager to know what's inside, and is desperate to find out. As it turns out, once Patrick fools SpongeBob into thinking it's just a piece of string, it turns out to be an embarrassing photo of SpongeBob at the Christmas party, and Patrick laughs at it. So yeah, pretty jerkish.
Okay, here's the thing. First of all, Patrick, it's never implied that Patrick is sharing this photo behind SpongeBob's back with anyone else. It's just a secret for Patrick to enjoy. It's not jerkish if Patrick is not, he isn't teasing SpongeBob about it. He doesn't tease him that the secret has anything to do with him. Patrick just does not, Patrick isn't sharing the secret with anybody. Nobody knows that, it's a photo. So Patrick's not really being a jerk, as he is so much just, enjoying having a secret about his best friend. Camp Coral makes 0 sense. Mr. Krabs is older than SpongeBob, Patrick, Squidward, and Sandy. He wouldn't be a kid at the same time as they. No, he wasn't. He wasn't a kid in that show. He was like a young adult. In that show, and that's because Pearl is a baby in it.
Imagine for a minute that this episode released in season 6. Pre-movie purists would have ripped on it. So
Probably because the writing would have sucked.
Sandy is cited as the least hateable character post-movie, where it's criticized that she's a scientist over her other traits. But it doesn't mean they just ignore everything else, like her hobby of karate or her Texan patriotism. Sure, her sciencey traits were played up more post-movie, starting with the classic season 4 episode Chimps Ahoy, in which Sandy's inventions are inspected by her bosses for investment reasons. And of course, SpongeBob gets involved and shenanigans happen. It's a pretty good episode. Honestly, I don't see a criticism here, especially since Sandy is like the one character that pre-movie SpongeBob purists seem to at least tolerate.
Before she was absolutely destroyed in later seasons. That season 4 episodes. No, it isn't.
4. Post-movie analysis.
Season 4 is very much on par with the original 3 seasons.
No, it isn't. Fake fan.
and had many of the same writers, even if Steven Hillenburg took a back seat. Season
Back seat. Dude, he wasn't involved. He was not involved.
5, you see a turnover with Zeus Service and Adam Springer, and Nickelodeon put time crunch on the writers, resulting in a decline in quality. It's more accurate to say that Nickelodeon executives are to blame for any decline fans saw in SpongeBob.
No, it's also the staff as well, because you don't have Steven Hillenburg anymore. Bullshit.
And not the exodus of Steven Hillenburg. SpongeBob was turning into a money-milking franchise at this point. Season 7 is reasonably deemed the worst season when it came out. Not without some good episodes, but it was the weakest at the time.
And he's not even going to cite what good episodes there are, huh?
Things improved with Season 8. The seasons that put out episodes like It's a SpongeBob Christmas and Hello Bikini Bottom, which even Mr. Enter really liked. Then we get to Season 9, which the first half was the usual. Some good episodes, some mediocre.
No good episodes, all terrible, is what he means to say. The only decent episodes from Season 4 is Krusty Towers and A Fear of a Crab. Absolutely, those are actually decent episodes. I rearrange all these cards into a grand piano. Boom! Gee, how long can they drag this out? Well, I don't know. How long have they been dragging out The Simpsons?
But the second half was heavily affected by the release of the second SpongeBob movie, in which production on the season was halted to make the movie. It was actually a 3 to 4 year gap between the two halves of the season, so around 2011 to 2015. It is true that Steven Hillenburg returned for the second SpongeBob movie, but after that, he got Lou Gehrig's disease, which forced him to step back immediately. And as we all know, this resulted in him passing away in November of 2018.
Steven Hillenburg was barely involved with the show after the first movie, you moron.
So his return wasn't as triumphant as he and others had hoped, but pre-movie SpongeBob purists like to act that him returning for the movie is what got the show back on track. And that's just not true. In reality, there was a lot of new blood coming into the show after the second movie. This includes people like Ben Gruber coming on to work on SpongeBob after working on another show. I'll give you 3 guesses on what it is. Let me give you some clues. It's loud, annoying, and obnoxious. You want to know what it is?
Duh.
So he's going to try and attribute SpongeBob's failure and decline in quality not to Steven Hillenburg leaving, but rather to this idiot. That's why. Seasons 9 to 11 was slightly better only because Steven Hillenburg was involved as an executive producer. After he died, the show has reached an all-time low, and it has not climbed back since.
Hated shows of its time, seen as inferior to the original cartoon, had one of its writers hop over to SpongeBob, and this caused SpongeBob, along with a whole cast of new writers, to completely change the show forever. The art style and animation, for one, was completely ruined. It became...
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, the art style was already pretty ruined with the post-seasons because they gave SpongeBob this stupid, like, inward cheek, and they shrunk his face details. Ew, Teen Titans, go! Godspeed, Steven Hillenburg. You deserve better. All of them do.
Became essentially like rubber, and anything sort of like Teen Titans Go. They made the show unwatchable for those familiar with SpongeBob up until that point. It became kindergarten goo that belongs on Nick Jr. and not the main Nickelodeon channel. Mr. Enter ironically put it best. The animation seems more frantic than energetic, and it ruins the slapstick. Any of the character models just looked completely off by a mile. I mean, this is Mr. Krabs in Season 10, and he just looks completely off. It's incredibly noticeable compared to earlier seasons. You might think it might be slight enough to say, who cares? But remember that the characters are animated in a completely off way. Keep in mind, this is what he looks like earlier in the show. We've also got bad episodes like Everything. This is not a joke. Most of
The same can be said about seasons 4 onward, dude. The art style has been shit since season 4. Absolutely, Darth Ghostface. The art style has indeed been shit, and I have been willing to call it out.
If not all the episodes suffer from the problems introduced. Mr. Enter might have ripped on Ink Lemonade, for example, but there's a lot more. And you can bet that this is the result of the new writers. The decline of SpongeBob is due to new people working on the show, like Ben Gruber. They clearly don't understand SpongeBob at all.
No, the decline of SpongeBob came with Steven Hillenburg leaving after the movie. Why else do you think SpongeBob got slightly better when he came back and then immediately dropped in quality again when he left? Steven Hillenburg is like George Lucas. He was the heart and the soul of the franchise that he created. GS up hose down. We are reviewing JJ Plagiarisms. Without Steven Hillenburg, SpongeBob is nothing. I agree, Darth Ghostface. That is indeed a fact, an undisputable fact. Yet JJ here is trying to dispute it.
This, like the sequel trilogy, is what actual bad SpongeBob looks like. Now here,
No, actual bad SpongeBob is those seasons and seasons 4 onward.
I wanted to tie back into the point of this video.
Part 5. Conclusion.
So the goal of this video was to demonstrate that any franchise or intellectual property can have a swarm of misinformation spread about it by people who go with a certain narrative because they want to believe it.
No, if anyone was spreading misinformation, JJ Plagiarisms, it's you. It was you, absolutely. I'm not much of a SpongeBob fan, but I know a fall from grace when I see it. Honestly, Mecha G75, you should watch the first 3 seasons and at the very least the first movie. It is great.
Plinket's claim that George probably wanted to start off A New Hope really boring is easily refutable, but not a lot of people bothered to look at the behind-the-scenes production of the original movie, or the prequels. There will always be a tendency to misrepresent whoever and whatever when people aren't happy.
I mean, you're basically doing the exact same thing right now, you overblown Funko Pop. SpongeBob from seasons 4 on and onward is the Disney Star Wars of SpongeBob. Agreed.
Previously spoken about those who claim that the prequels ruined the entire Star Wars franchise, and said people have never heard of the following content.
Oh shit, man! Take me money!
What the crap? Oh, God. I actually jumped a little. What the Christ, man? That hurt my ears. What season is the bubble episode? What bubble episode? Funko Pops are aesthetic. JJ's voice does indeed match the JJ and Funko Pop. What the heck? Jesus Christ. Welcome to the stream, Jason Todd's biggest glazer. My ears. Yeah, my ears too, man. Oh my gosh. I'm so glad I don't have my volume pumped up all the way because my ears would have been shattered. I have it muted for now. Okay, let's see. Does he mention the Cal Kestis games? Nope, he's not. He doesn't. Okay.
Though Mike had a lack of experience with the overall Star Wars franchise, those who are largely invested in everything beyond the movies either liked the prequels.
So basically, he tries to use SpongeBob as an example to present a narrative about red letter media. So this video wasn't even aimed at SpongeBob directly. He's just using an example. Christ. This was terrible.
All were indifferent to them because there was plenty of other stuff to hold them over. And I can back that up with my venture into the expanded universe. What Mike said about George Lucas and the prequels were not true, implication or not. But if what he said was true, it would assist the points he was making. I mean, Plinkett even admitted, quote, "These are just my interpretations of the footage. I wasn't there." Now, I'd say someone like Mr. Enter is more of a reverse Plinkett since he used the original creator to advance his narrative. While Mike made George Lucas out to be some incompetent outlier who was never actually that talented, and other people had to do his work for him, and yada yada yada, which isn't true, and you start to notice this narrative literally only applies to Star.
The one where Squidward screams into a bubble and the bubble carries him in his ass off. Yeah, that's season 1. That's Bubble Stand. JJ Plagiarisms is so retarded. Absolutely. He's talented at avoiding accountability, though. Ha! Defending modern SpongeBob is aesthetic. Yeah, I've seen a couple people actually try and defend it.
Star Wars and Indiana Jones and nothing else. Try convincing a prequel hater to watch THX 1138 or American Graffiti. American Graffiti is a movie directed by George Lucas that doesn't even have a central main character. Instead, it focuses on different perspectives throughout the movie. So Plinkett's point that the Phantom Menace not having a central main character and how it detracts from the movie is just wrong. Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan are the POV characters.
And he's basically striving away to hating it, Red Letter Media. So I think that is enough. I will spare you all the rest of JJ Plagiarism's god-awful voice. It's like defending Disney Star Wars. Facts. Well, that has been a wonderful 2 hours to spend our time, wasn't it, chat? So I think I should be wrapping things up. Do you guys have any parting thoughts on the videos we have covered here today? Glad that's over. Yep. Having a hard time telling what the hell your profile pic is, Darth Ghostface. Good stream, Brandon. Yeah, thank you. Thank you all for coming. Make sure to like, share the streams, and subscribe. Spread the good word. You know, don't back down on gatekeeping. And remember, everybody, make sure... It's Susie from Deltarune. Okay, thank you. Make sure to always be awesome. I'm late to the stream, but I needed his thanks. Happy to help, Mecha G75. Again, Scruffy couldn't make it. He had personal engagements. So remember, everybody, be awesome. Good night.